Hey, so this is the last of my home tour videos. I did one that showed you the entire house, and I did another one, this echo's bugging me, and I did another one that showed you like the tech stuff, like my server rack and my computers and stuff like that. This is the outdoor tour. It's not meant to be a standalone video. It's meant to be kind of one as a group. You can see, I'll put annotations up or something so you can watch the other videos if that interests you. So when I planned out this video, I had kind of an idea that there'd be a drone over the property showing this like cool aerial view flying around, but I don't have a drone to give a cool aerial view around the property. What I do have is a roof that I can walk on and show you around. This is my front yard. We do a lot more landscaping. Oh, I hope the wind's not getting picked up. We do a lot more landscaping in the summer, so if you see some weeds, let it go. But this is where we are. I'll do my best to show you around. This is the camera that Jackie was so shaky with, and I'm hoping that I can do better. This is my backyard. That's the fire pit. Let's zoom in. I really like it. It's funny. I'm gonna sit, get this more stable. When I did my house tour, one of the things I had the most excitement about was the ceiling fans on the porch. And when I talk about the outside, one of the things I'm most excited about is the fire pit. The purpose of this whole ride, that is life, is to enjoy your time on it and do some good. In terms of enjoying my time, it's not having a chocolate room that we walk through or anything like that. You can check my other home tour video if you want to see that. It's time with the family, and I think some of my best times around here are when we have a campfire going on and we're in the pit and we're talking and joking and making fun of my daughter and stuff like that. That's the good stuff. The good stuff isn't having a big master closet. It's time with the people. That high grass area over there, that's our land too. It goes to the edge there. But we tend to have one area anyway that we don't try to keep manicured in the slightest. Our lot goes over to that white fence over there. Let's zoom in a touch. That kind of shows the border of what we own. To me, it's big. It's 14 point something acres. I think it's a little over 14 and a half acres. And it's about 30 times larger than anything that I've ever had before. I'm sure some of you out there, maybe if you're from Idaho or something and you're used to giant 30,000 acre plots and stuff like that. But for me, 14 is really big. So I don't know. It's quite the roomy expanse compared to what I've grown accustomed to. This is my outside. I'll show you more. There's the fire pit I showed you before. We've been tossing around the idea of having a pool in this spot right here. Picture removing those trees right in front and having a deck that goes all the way under that window and kind of matches the porch now. So a big deck that you could walk into from like the dog room or master bedroom, and a pool here. Maybe something covered, so it's like it extends how long we can use it. Like, if it was semi-indoor pool, then we could use it 9 months a year in North Carolina. Those are the kinds of things we think about. There's a part of me that tries to be really responsible with money, and pools are generally considered a break-even thing. They don't really improve the value of your home, but they don't take away from it either. Some people won't buy a home with a pool. Some people might pay extra. I don't know, but I'd like a pool. Maybe. We'll see. This is my stable. Boy, I've worked a lot on this stable, and there's a lot of good progress, but I really want it to be finished. You can see over here, there's some new wood. Maybe you can't see that well. We got the siding on here. We've got the roof on this area over here. There's a whole lot going on in terms of how much I've finished, but I still have to put the shingles on top. I still have to put the window in here. I own the window. It's over there. But I'm going to talk about the lawnmowers. So, lawnmowers. Kyle likes to tease me about my lawnmowers. I'm laughing. The reason I have so much yard equipment is kind of coming from this place of insecurity. I feared that when I bought this place, mowing the yard would be this white elephant of a task that made me really unhappy. That, you know, I would just dread it. I wasn't really into lawn care before this house. And I just thought that it might be something I dread. Those of you that watch Painkiller already know it didn't turn out like that at all. I start itching. I look forward to mowing the yard like a week or two in advance. It's awesome. But I wanted to get stuff that could do the job efficiently so that it didn't become this really dreadful thing. I bought all of it used and at good deals, I think. This is a 6-foot John Deere zero-turn mower. It's gas-powered, and both of these things mow at probably like 10, maybe even 12 miles an hour. I think the kids maybe go a little slower, like 8 miles an hour. But it mows 6 feet wide at a time, and they just zoom around like a go-kart and get it done. That one, the John Deere is Colin's, really. I guess they're all mine, but whatever. The John Deere is Colin's. This bad boy is Hope's. And it's also a 6-foot zero-turn mower, except this one has a Caterpillar diesel engine in it. And in terms of, if you're into zero turns, it's pretty badass to have like a commercial grade diesel zero-turn mower. And like I said, I got it because I didn't want to sit there fearing the amount of work we had to do by maintaining 14 acres of property, like a yard kind of. This one's Jackie's. Get a little tighter on that. This one's Jackie's, and it's a, what is it? X300R maybe? It's supposed to have a bag on the back, or at least it can have a bag on the back there, but we don't do it. We just drop it on the ground because we've got too much property for that kind of bagging nonsense. And she uses this to get up close to the house. We used to mow close to the house with the zero turns, but the kids were hitting the house, and I didn't like repairing it, and I don't know. It's just never good to hit your house with it's almost a small car, you know, with the way these things are built. So Jackie does this and gets up close to it. She usually finishes in advance and starts doing stuff like weeding or picking up twigs and stuff like that. This guy here is my tractor. A lot of people think it's a Kubota. It's not. It's a Kioti. It's a 45 horsepower. I don't know if I'm getting this very well. It's a 45 horsepower Kioti compact utility tractor. I guess it's in the like estate tractor sort of category. And man, like we use it a lot more than I knew I was going to. I mean, I'm sure there's farmers out there giggling at me using it like I do. But you know, we pull trees out of the ground with it. We pulled hedges out of the ground with it. I use it to lift the like sheathing up in place to build the roofing here. And of course I use it to mow. This is an 8-foot or almost 8-foot, 91-inch finished lawnmower. And here's how tractors work. So in the back of a tractor, there's this thing called a PTO shaft. I need to see what I'm filming. Right in there, that thing spins. And then its spinning action can power all kinds of things back here. You can put a tiller, you know, all sorts of farmy things. A big lawnmower like I do, snow blower, all kinds of things can work on that same principle of you got a spinny thing right here, and then that spins. That yellow thing is not a shaft, it's protective. The shaft spins inside that, but this, you know, stops. The point of that is farm equipment's dangerous. It's something I'm really conscious of. When that PTO shaft spins, it spins with a power that like a human body would have no influence on. So if it like caught your shirt sleeve, it would tear your arm off. You know, if it caught your hair or something, it would scalp you. It's, you know, this is about as safe as it gets because there's no spinning, well, the spinning parts are inside that protective thing. But still, it's not something to mess around with. Farm equipment can be dangerous because it has power that, you know, you just don't mess with. If your finger gets stuck in a mixer, you know, the handheld mixer that you like put your cookie dough in, you probably will jam up the mixer. You'll hurt your finger, but you know, it's not like this, where it'll just tear the rest of your arm in up to the shoulder and rip that thing off it. So anyway, that's my tractor, and we love mowing. Colin and I love mowing. Hope and Jackie tolerate it. You know, it's a thing to do. This is our fuel. This one to the right here is gas, and this one over here is diesel. One of the lawnmowers, like I mentioned, is diesel. Then, of course, the tractor is diesel too. I'll show you the stable. And then we'll go to, I guess, the guest house, schoolhouse. So this side here is due to be replaced. Of course, the roof still needs shingles there, but I do have a lot that is done. All the sheathing on that roof has been replaced. That whole roof was torn off in a tornado a couple years ago. And you can see I've got the new header in there, and I've got the sheathing on top, and I just need to spend a couple productive days getting this thing wrapped up. I started working at WoodyCraft again, taking a really active role, and trash pile, and it's been consuming all my time. So on the other hand, cool things are happening. I just finished a plug-in yesterday. Check out this. If you're I'm going to go to the guest house. I'll tell you about it. We have it so that now we can control your view distance by region, which was a really cool idea. So like if you're in the spawn, you can get one view distance. We have a new concept of a city that'll replace our temples plug-in. We have a different view distance for that. We could have a different view distance for the store. So you can really balance like the server load in general and you know, the specific times when you might need to see further. And I wrote that, actually just finished this morning. And I don't know, it's nice to be a little more self-sufficient and do some of the coding on my own. And that's that. This is the guest house / schoolhouse. I guess we call it both. And I'll take you inside. Okay, a little bit messy. Perhaps you can forgive that. But this is the kitchen. Look at that. She has left a goodbye message. And you know, this is where you'd cook. Hope actually incorporates the kitchen in Colin's school. Does things like measuring and stuff. If you homeschool well, it can be pretty awesome. And Jackie works super hard to make that work out. This is where they do the actual learning. Here, I'll try and, let me see what happens if I put this down. Could be better. But they sit here, and then this comes up like that, and they learn on it. Let me see what your view is like. I think you get the idea. So that goes up like that, and they can use that. If they had to hunch over to use a table, then that would really suck. And hypothetically, this would be good if guests come and they want a place to eat. And also, it's nice for doing school. So that goes like that. This is the bedroom. I made this bed. I know I've talked about my woodworking a lot, but here's one of my projects. You haven't seen too many. But I made this bed. There used to be a footboard that went with it, but when we got this house, I modified it because I felt like, you know, it could be bigger, the house, and to have like another foot of that taken by something kind of pokey, like, you know, imagine a shorter version of this headboard down here. I feel like it's just too much bed for the room. So we modified it, and now it looks like that. My chair, I used to sit there. Flat screen TV for our guests. This is the sink. The bathroom's not that big, so we kind of have the sink thing out here, and in here is the shower, toilet, the things that you need for keeping yourself clean. This is the closet. Like I said, it's a school, and the nature of Colin, my son's special needs, most of you probably know that, But the nature of it is that for him to learn, he doesn't listen very well. Like, he has trouble with auditory processing, and his reading's a bit delayed. So the best way to teach Colin, although his reading's coming along great, that's encouraging. The best way to teach Colin is with visual stuff, which is why, like, when we have fractions, they're things that you can, like, move and touch and play with. This is his style of learning. You know, you can maybe analyze yourself and say, yeah, I learn best when, like, a friend tells it to me, or I learn best when I read on my own and have an opportunity to sort of move at my own pace. Well, Colin learns best when he can, you know, pick the thing up and manipulate it with his hands. So that's why we have so many things. You know, if you want to teach him about, you know, anatomy, then you got to have, you know, this kind of stuff. If you want to teach him about math, you got to have this kind of stuff. And there's more things. I think they're in the main house, though. We just have a lot of doodads because Colin's learning is really based, I don't even know what I'll find in these things. Colin's learning is based on having all kinds of things that, that he can see and touch and feel and manipulate and do whatever with. So that's the guest house. That's our way around. I'll take you outside and we'll wrap this thing up. So here we are again. We've come full circle. This is our front driveway. You probably remember from the beginning of the video. This is, I guess you could call it a side driveway. I tend to call it the private driveway. I don't know how that came to be, but that's what we call it. And that's the house. A lot of people, I saw in comments and stuff, said that, like, oh, you know, it was really cheap because Woody lives in a rural area. I actually kind of don't. Like, if you look at it on Google Maps and zoom out a bit, it's in Raleigh. And all around me, once you get past my actual neighbors, like this gentleman over here, I'm gonna zoom in on his house. He probably wouldn't want that. Like that guy and that guy over there. And once you get past, like, those neighbors, it gets into much more dense housing, right? Everyone around me has, I don't know, 3 acres, 6 acres, 18 acres. There's people that live in those woods over there. They have a big lot. This guy has a big lot. Once you get past my surroundings, then the next layer of it, everyone has tightly packed lots. It's Raleigh. It's not the middle of nowhere. You know, I'm 10 minutes from where our professional hockey team plays and such. Like, the area is kind of rocking, in my opinion. So I bought this place kind of as an investment too. I don't know when we'll ever sell, but if that happens someday, then it wouldn't bother me at all if, because, you know, they're not making any more land in Raleigh, the price went up quite a bit and it turned into a really smart investment. We'll see. But that was part of the thought process that went into buying this place. It's what I consider a really primo lot in my favorite city. So I hope that someday it turns out that I was really smart to buy it. Time will tell. So that's it. I have now completed the doxing of myself. I feel like David Banner, right? That's my secret. I'm always doxed. I hope that you guys enjoy the tour, and if you'd like to see the rest of it, I'll throw some annotations up and you can watch you know, the house tour or the tech tour, and you'll see where I am and what I'm about. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know that you've got a lot of choices that you could watch, and I feel kind of honored that you're actually here and you've picked me, which is awesome. So thanks.